So, girls, what are you working on today?
We're writing a play.
A play, okay.
And it's going to be about like this girl who has a sleepover with her friends, and she feels like all grown up, so that she doesn't even need a babysitter.
Okay.
Because her parents are like going out,
Okay.
like to dinner or something. So she plans
Without her parents there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they
Sounds like it's already an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah, and then they like went downstairs and the babysitter was like sleeping, so they snuck out of the house into this haunted house.
Okay.
And so while they're there, they like do something scary and like I don't know, like and then there's this ghost
Okay.
that comes, like a really scary ghost. And then her friends start to disappear. She doesn't know what happened.
Okay, so I see you've thought through the story really well because you have kind of a concept of the parents are out, the babysitter's asleep, and so she's sneaking out going to where?
A haunted house.
Okay, to a haunted house, and then do her friends go with her?
Yes.
And then they all start disappearing. Okay, so what did you need help with?
Well, we're trying to think of Well, we based it on a book I saw. It was called Creep Over.
Okay, Creep Over?
Yeah, like,
Yes.
it was I think it's about, because I read the summary in the back, it's about this girl who does a video chat at her house.
Okay.
And their friends start to disappear on the screens. And then this ghost appears on the screen.
Okay.
So, and she like makes them disappear or something. So we're trying to like not like copy it,
Right.
but like change it up. Her going to a haunted house.
Yes. So a different version
Yeah,
of
but
that.
not like doing video chat, but doing something else that makes them disappear or.
Well, one thing that you want to think about when you're deciding on a title is you don't have to decide on it before you start writing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can figure out, it'll sort of come to you as the story is written or at the very end, and you'll think, okay, what overall, now that we know what the story's like, what would be a good title? Now, the other thing is if you're writing a book or a story that is related to a book you've already read, then sometimes if some series will use kind of the same titles like Creep Over or Haunted Over or something over, since it's a sleepover. Are all the books sleepovers?
No, I just saw one book.
Okay, so it might be good if it's kind of like, if the title connects to maybe the story that you're basing it off of, by repeating something in the title that
Like I like
connects it.
Creep Over, but I don't want to.
Right.
Because like real writers, it's illegal to copy.
Yes.
We still don't want to do it.
Right. Well, one thing you might do is just kind of brainstorm. So let's just, y'all want to kind of create like a brainstorming or make a list. You can either make a list or a web or however you want to do it. And let's just brainstorm some titles and then come back to it after you've written it. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, so one of them is Creep Over. You could use that since we're not publishing it, right? We can't get any kind of lawsuit. But Creep Over, okay? And let's see, can we come up with something that's like something over, like it's at a haunted house. So let's do haunted house what? Haunted house. Okay, night at the haunted house. Okay, let's write that one down. Okay, let's think of a couple more, and then you can come back and decide later on which one fits best. Okay? Any other ones? So
I feel like it should be something over.
something over. Okay, let's see. Over, because it's a sleepover, or it could be sleepover at the haunted house, or
I feel like sleepover gone wrong.
so, okay, let's do that one. Let's write that down. We're brainstorming. Sleepover gone wrong. Okay. And then you said something over, so could it be, I don't know. I like that you're tying it to the haunted house because that's kind of the setting, and I think will draw the reader in as far as they'll know, okay, it's a haunted house and it's sleepover going on. Something over. Let's just put blank over and just put a question mark because we know we might want more. Are there any other titles that you can think of that might? Mystery at the Mystery at the Mansion or Mystery at the...
I like Mystery at the Mansion.
But you'd have to call, instead of the haunted house, you'd have to call it a mansion, a haunted mansion. Mystery at the Haunted Mansion? Mystery at the Mansion? Whichever one you think. I mean, these are just...
Mystery Mansion?
Mystery Mansion? Okay, write that one down. Mystery Mansion. Any other ones? Okay, so now that you have some titles, you can keep adding to this. So what is your plan for getting started? How are you going to introduce...
I feel like it's going to be like these, this girl like walking down the sidewalk and she sees her friends and she says, wait up, are you Yeah,
okay.
And she's having so like, hey, my parents are going out, we're going to sneak out and
Well, the other thing that I would encourage you to do before you actually start writing down the story is to do a plan. Just like we talked about when we're writing, a plan is really important. So just kind of divide your story up into chunks so that when you start writing it out, you have some specific parts and you don't just go on and on and on without transitioning through the story and leading the reader where you want to go.
But like it's going to be a play.
Right.
So
you can still transition. You can do the beginning, middle, end, okay? And so is your introduction going to be, what's your introduction going to be? Is it going to be her meeting up with her friends and inviting them over? Okay. So we could say meeting up with friends.
Are you just listing?
Yeah, I'm just making notes. With friends to invite them over, right? Okay. And then, so and then the beginning of the story, you talked about how you want to establish the setting, right?
Yeah.
And the setting's going to be, or what do you want to say? Where do you want to start the story?
Like we're gonna start it like on a sidewalk where like after school she's like running up with her friends.
Right, and that's the introduction. Is that the introduction? Okay, I mean that can be. And then is the next part going to be, or the beginning part of the actual event is going to be when they're at the house and the parents are leaving and the babysitter falls asleep?
Yeah, and the middle.
Okay. Is the middle going to be when they go to the haunted house and start disappearing? Okay. So it looks like you have the beginning and the intro, the beginning and the middle, but the ending you didn't really speak to. So that's going to be the part.
I think we're just going to like flow and see where it goes.
Okay.
We just now started thinking.
Yes.
Like today, like I ran up to her and like.
But if you can kind of get a kind of a format, and you don't have to have everything decided, but just kind of realize kind of how you're breaking the story apart, how you're going to transition and how it's going to flow. So you're not sure about the ending, okay? And the closing, are you going to end the story and have a closing, or are you going to just leave the reader hanging to the next maybe book or the next?
Yeah, because I want another.
Okay. So you want it to be kind of, what do you call that?
A
suspenseful, but they call it a cliffhanger. Where the ending, you leave the reader on a cliff, and they're just kind of hanging because they don't really know, okay? So be sure that when you write the ending of the story, that it leads into maybe when you write a cliffhanger, and probably what you want to do is look back at the actual story that you read and see how they...
Well, I didn't read it. I read the summary on the back.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, because I got it from the book fair.
Right.
So, I'm like... in the prologue right now.
Yes, okay. Hey, this must be a good book if it's motivating. So one thing that you might, like I said, go back and look at the ending of that story, even if you haven't read the whole thing, and see how they closed it. But also sometimes when you are reading a cliffhanger or you're writing a cliffhanger, what I remember is that the writer suggests like maybe this or maybe that, and kind of leads the reader to maybe some conclusions but not a definite one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you might suggest some kind of reasoning or something about why the girls were, okay? Make some suggestions, I would say. you're going to make it a cliffhanger at the end. Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So kind of start planning, and then that'll help you when you start writing to be more specific and clear. Are there any other questions or anything else y'all need to think through? I'm excited to see the story. Okay, good job, girls. Oh yeah, good luck. I'll look forward to hearing more about that.